Congressman Price, quoting Mr. Trump again, or at least paraphrasing him, just last week he said, roughly speaking, pharma is getting away with murder. You recall that tweet?
I do.
Okay. There are many of us on this side of the aisle who are working on legislation that would do at least two things. Number one, end the absurdity of the American people being ripped off by the pharmaceutical industry, who 2 years ago top 5 companies made $50 billion in profits, while 1 out of 5 Americans can't afford to fill the prescriptions their doctors write. Will you and will the President-elect join us in legislation we are working on, which, number one, will allow Medicare to negotiate prices with the drug companies and lower prices, and number two, allow the American people to bring in less expensive medicine from Canada and other countries? Is that something you will work with us on?
The issue of drug pricing and drug costs is one of great concern to all Americans. I think it's important to appreciate that in a couple areas we've had significant success, whether it's in the generic area where costs are significantly less than they have been, and in part—
But you are aware, sir, I don't mean to be, we don't have a lot of time. We are paying by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. You don't disagree with that, do you? Do you disagree with that?
I think that's the case. I'd have to look at the statistics. I think there are a lot of reasons for that, and if we get to the root cause of what that is, then I think we can actually solve it in a bipartisan way.
One of the root causes is that every other major country on earth negotiates drug prices with the pharmaceutical industry. In our country, the drug companies can raise their prices. Today, they could double their prices. There is no law to prevent them from doing that. Will you work with us so that Medicare negotiates prices with the pharmaceutical industry?
You have my commitment to work with you and others to make certain that the drug pricing is reasonable and that individuals across this land have access to the medications that they need.
Wasn't quite the answer to the question that I asked.